is setting people free. Toshiba computers. Choose freedom. Choose Toshiba.
These are the words me hear from my granddaddy. He said nothing in this world like when a man know him free. Free from the lock, I say free from the key. Free like a butterfly, free like a bee. These are the words me hear from my granddaddy. Said it's nice to be free, nice to be free. Free from the lock, I say free from the key. Don't be afraid of your freedom. 'Cause I'm free to do what I want.
The Protégé series featuring the Intel Pentium 3 processor. Choose freedom. Choose Toshiba.
And now the latest from the ZDTV newsroom.
Hello, I'm Victoria Racagno for ZDTV News. eBay is taking its European users wireless. The online auctioneer is offering users in Germany and Britain the ability to place bids with standard cell phones. The company plans to roll out similar services in France, Italy, and Scandinavia after the company establishes sites in those markets. And new quarterly results show the web's biggest auctioneer topped even the most optimistic projections. eBay says its first quarter net income was $8 million or 6 cents a share, twice as much as Wall Street analysts had expected. Quarterly sales grew to $85 million, up 15%. For more news, check out our website. That's at zdtvnews.com. And make sure you stay tuned for more updates every hour here on ZDTV.
Hello and welcome to the Screensavers. I'm Patrick Norton.
I love that horn. And I'm Leo Laporte. Thank you for joining us. Coming up in today's show, we got a good one, don't we, Pat?
We got a great show today.
We got a great show.
It's a beautiful show.
First of all, what's a port?
A port?
No, not Laporte. And not the place where sailors go either. Martin Sargent has the lowdown on computer ports.
Ports?
Network ports. Sockets, stuff like that.
But then we're going to get into the world of William Gibson in the Geek Library.
Oh, this is your pick, isn't it?
This is my pick.
I am pleased. We both are big fans of William Gibson.
Huge fan.
Then Dan Hanttula comes by. He's got our Windows CE power tip and a great one for all you CE users.
And later on, Sumi Das has fun playing with interactive toys on today's Fresh Gear.
Before we introduce today's topic in the chat room, let's check the final results of our poll from last night. Is the Microsoft ship sinking? And you know what? Microsoft continues to have a lot of support out there in the real world.
Well, you know, there's millions of people using it. They love
71% of you said no.
29% yes. Yeah. At this point.
I think most people like Microsoft still.
It works.
It works. Today, another Microsoft question. This comes from the Pentagon. There was a report in the Pentagon.
The PowerPoint is sucking the Pentagon dry.
No, it's a productivity killer.
Yes.
You know, Scott McNeely at Sun has been saying this for years.
I've been fighting with PR tours for years. It's the worst thing.
Is PowerPoint a threat to national security? Actually, I'm glad you asked because I have a little PowerPoint presentation I'd like to show you right now.
Brace yourselves, folks.
Government PowerPoint presentations, waste not, want not. Ladies and gentlemen, I give it to you right here. Wait a minute, how did that get in there? I think that's a little bit of an error.
Leo.
Shattering the myth of wasteful PowerPoint use. It can't be a problem if it's colorful. Point and click can only be positive. Ladies and gentlemen, I only use it at work, and Girl Scout cookie sales, way more dangerous. Here's a profile of a typical PowerPoint user. I'm in control of my use. I never use alone, and I only use at work. Comparing the Army, Navy, and Girl Scouts, the Army wastes time using PowerPoint. The Navy, not familiar with PowerPoint. The Girl Scouts sell way more Girl Scout cookies. So, ladies and gentlemen, get that slide out of there. I rest my case.
Make it stop, Leo. No.
It'll stop any minute now. You know what, I have to say, I spent 3.5 hours this afternoon creating this PowerPoint presentation, and I think it was the best spent time of my day.
I think he's lying through his teeth. What do you think? Take our web poll at thescreensavers.com. While you're there, click on our TalkBack feature to express your opinion to us and the rest of the Screensavers community.
I still don't know how that slide got in there. You can give us a phone call, 888-989-7879, or chat with us, chat.zdnet.com. ZDTV.com. Click on the screensavers room. That's where the main thing's going on. Unless you want that.
And you're in a Netcam and you want to ask your question on the air, talk to the Netcam hosts in the Netcam Cineplex.
That's it. You get the little Maganet.
Who's in there today?
In the Netcam Cineplex, it's Dan and Dan the Butcher Man Mitchell, and PowerPoint is good, says Shannon.
Everyone is brainwashed. This is wrong.
Have you? Come on, you've done PowerPoint presentations.
I have never done a PowerPoint presentation.
I've done tons of
Never.
them.
I hate PowerPoint. I despise PowerPoint. Well, I think I despise more of PowerPoint is sitting through a PowerPoint presentation.
That is the worst part. It's like somebody's slideshow. You don't want to see it.
It's evil. It's wrong. If you can't tell me in 30 sorry, I'm going off here.
PowerPoint is obviously a productivity killer here at the Screensavers. Go on to the Netcam Cineplex, say hi to Shannon and Dan, and if they put you on the air and you get your face on the air, you get that magnetic picture frame. It's all yours. Who's on the fridge today, Patrick?
Ooh, the fridge picture features Mike Diekman and the Holy Father himself.
Wow,
Mike
he's with
says
the Pope.
he's not sure if the Pope gets ZDTV.
Wow, but if he got it, he'd get it.
That would.
You too can get your picture on our fridge. Just send it to the Screensavers at ZDTV.com. I think the Pope actually sent us that picture.
That's a nice
That's what I
thought.
think. Put fridge picture in the subject line, just like the Holy Father himself. Jason joins us on the ZDTV Netcam Network from Garden City, Michigan. Hello, Jason.
What's up, Jason?
How's it going?
Is Garden City near Monroe?
It's pretty close. It's about a half hour.
Okay, just curious.
Where's Monroe?
Southeastern corner.
Okay. Oh,
North
that's
of
the,
Toledo.
that's the beauty part of New Jersey.
No, it's Michigan.
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 Garden City, Michigan.
Oh,
yeah.
Michigan. I don't know anything about it. What can we do for you, Jason?
Well, I just made myself a wireless network for under $500.
Are you the man?
Yeah,
You must have
in
used
fact, I got it
Apple.
working hours ago.
You must have used Apple's product, right?
I most certainly did, and Lucent's a silver card, too.
Oh, interesting. So you combined the Apple airport hub, the transmitter, with the silver cards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because actually, if you open up the airport, it's that same card with the label on it and everything.
Oh, yeah. Everybody's using the Lucent chipset.
It's just right now Apple seems to be the only one putting together a cheap 802.11 hub.
Yeah, isn't that funny? Because if it's the same hardware, you'd think that they. I mean, why is 3Com and all these other people charging so much money?
Well, part of it's nobody had access to the Lucent parts as early as Apple did. I think that's the big thing. But you had a question for us, Jason.
Yeah, the problem with the setup is that the encryption is really, really bad on it. Mm-hmm. And I want to know, because now since all of my local area network traffic is getting tossed into the air, I wanted to know if there's a way to secure everything from all of my computers to the Linux gateway.
That's an interesting question. Why do you say it's so bad?
Well, when you're throwing credit card information across for e-commerce and things like that, you know, it just makes you sleep better at night knowing that it's all encrypted.
Well, if you're sending it over to a secure form on a secure server, right, you got your little lock put up in the corner of your browser, at that point, it doesn't matter even if it's running through the airport network, it is open. Now, you bring up a great point, though, because somebody I knew in New York, in the IT department at one of the magazines, got a phone call because they had their iBook with the card in it in a office across the street, so like 40 feet across a city street in New York City, and we're logging on to the iPort, the airport hub that was in the middle of somebody else's offices, and we're like rolling through their network.
Let me clarify, because I don't really understand this. The airport traffic from my computer, my notebook computer, to the hub, that stuff going through the air, airport does nothing to encrypt that. That's cleared.
It's my understanding. Jason, this is a really tough question. It's my understanding that yes, you should be able to encrypt the traffic.
So that traffic's encrypted, and then as you point out, when you're on a secure site, from the client on up, it's encrypted. So that means even while it's in the air, it's encrypted by the client using SSL.
It should be secure in between no matter, even though it's going through the air, it's going to be secure between the client and the server that
But if I am on a unencrypted channel, then it would be encrypted or not encrypted?
It depends. Jason, did you have trouble setting up getting the Lucent card to the airport and the Lucent card? Did you have to change any settings on that Lucent card to get it to see the airport?
It took some configuring, and I'm not quite sure I got it to work. So I was wondering, because Microsoft offers like a VPN and things like that, and I was wondering if anything like that would work to encrypt all the traffic.
The biggest thing, you're going to actually have to do it if you're worried about the actual transmission in the air between the airport and whatever portable system or wireless system you've got the Lucent card attached to. The biggest thing, you're going to have to go to the people with the Lucent card and talk to them, because this is the Fairlawn guys I talked to when we first tested this with a PC card, they were like, Apple chose a very interesting interpretation, not my line, engineer's line, of the 802.11 spec. So it's an open spec, but there's wiggle room in there. We had to modify some of the settings on the card to get it to talk to the airport. You're going to have to check those settings to see whether or not there's an encryption setting and whether or not you can turn it on. That would be the best people that answer that would be the guys at Lucent.
Hardware encryption would be good.
Yeah.
If failing that, there is one other choice, and this is something Patrick's a big fan of. Zero Knowledge makes a product called Freedom.
Yes.
If you're using Freedom, your traffic is all encrypted, not only encrypted but private, because they scramble it through their server system, so you don't people don't even know where it comes from. You can download a trial copy of the Freedom software from ZeroKnowledge.com, and that would encrypt it from his client on out all the time.
His client all the way out through the Freedom network until it comes out the other side of the Freedom network.
And they use strong encryption, very strong 3-layer encryption, so it is highly, highly encrypted. You'd be super secure at that point.
Good question, Jeff.
That is a good question. Let's find out if their encryption is built into the hardware. If it's not, this is a software solution for you.
Excellent.
Thanks for the call.
After the break, we'll put William Gibson out of the fridge for today's Geek Library when the Screensavers continues.
Out of the fridge and into the Matrix. That's where I'm going.
The Screensavers is sponsored by Gateway. Gateway speaks to 50,000 people a day. Call, click, or go in and connect with them.
Is finding the right computer keeping you up? You could get this one. But does it include internet service? Nope. Or you could go with this one. But does it offer 24/7 tech support or enough memory? No. Or you could go with a Gateway Performance PC and get AOL included 24/7 tech support and now a free memory upgrade, all for just $45 a month. That should make you rest easy. Call 1-800-GATEWAY, featuring the Intel Pentium 3 processor.
Does too much computer information have you on the run? Have no fear, Computer Shopper is here. Computer Shopper has hundreds of pages packed with the best deals and the latest reviews to keep you one step ahead of the PC market. And it's only $3.99. Every month, Computer Shopper covers everything from video email to the newest software releases to the latest in digital cameras. Computer Shopper is on newsstands now, and it's only $3.99. Run to your newsstand now for Computer Shopper.
Welcome to the future of drafting.
Wow, I bet the guys that run this stuff spent years in school.
No, you might be surprised.
So what are the chances of me getting to work here?
Well, first of all, you gotta love to draw.
And second?
And second, you gotta call ITT Tech.
For an informative brochure, call ITT Tech at 1-800-942-0099. That's 1-800-942-0099.
Entries are in for ZDTV's second annual Cam Film Festival. Now you're invited to watch as we present the nominees. Fiction, humor, special effects, documentary, ZDTV promotion.
Amaze yourself.
ZDTV's Cam Film Festival nomination special. Watch tonight and every night this week at 10, 9 Central. Sponsored by Logitech.
Believe it or not, that is our webpage. Pretty exciting, huh? We actually have our own webpage.
Oh, thing.
TheScreensavers.com. It's a great site for more about the screensavers. Check our answers and tips page right here. This week, Graphics Week, so there's lots of tips and tricks about making your graphics shine. Things that we've done on the screensavers in the past are now living forever on TheScreensavers.com.
It's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
Yes, it's a beautiful thing.
Love that website. And it's time once again for Kate and Leo's Geek Library.
I thought you might say Kate. Your name is Patrick. Say after me.
Patrick.
Patrick. Okay.
I just been skunked by the teleprompter.
Take two.
Take two. It's time once again for Patrick and Leo's Geek Library.
I was watching that scroll by. I thought,
he's going to do it. What we recommend for your reading geek pleasure, Our favorite books, movies, newspapers, magazines, titles, other people's names, bookmarks. I'm a goober.
This is good. You know what's neat about this? Our very first, I think, Geek Library pick was Neuromancer.
Right.
Which is everybody, maybe not everybody's, but should be everybody's favorite sci-fi classic.
If you haven't read William Gibson's Neuromancer, run, drive, speed, violate traffic laws now.
You should.
And go get a copy of it.
I can't imagine anybody watching hasn't read that yet, unless they're like 4 years old.
It's great stuff. We can get into the. We've got I'm actually nominating all of William Gibson's
Well, and that's what's great about this. They all deserve it.
I mean, because the truth is, the man has totally redefined the way we think about, science fiction. Part of the whole cyberpunk movement. William Gibson is a writer. He wrote Neuromancer in '82. Neuromancer originated, the word cyberspace. He defined the Matrix as
that too.
Oh, sorry. As a consensual hallucination.
Where's Neuromancer?
Neuromancer disappeared somewhere between here and Townsend. So
right.
Neuromancer is in thin air.
I got all the other ones, though.
Great book, though. And the man has been a huge influence on the way we actually think about networking. He wrote Neuromancer, a tremendous book, discovering, the idea of a 3D consensual hallucination, the Matrix, where we exchange information in 1982, typing on a manual typewriter somewhere in like Vancouver, British Columbia.
Right. Amazing guy.
It's, and he came up with this idea of this information exchange that was going to be around the world, the idea that companies were going to really be bigger than nations in many cases, and just huge impact on the way we think about media, media impact and the way it all comes together.
Now let's talk about his other novels, because I think that he had a sophomore slump. He had a little jinx. Neuromancer was so good it was hard to come back.
Neuromancer, won like every major science fiction award on the planet.
Next was what, Burning Chrome, his short story collection?
Collection of short stories. I started reading like the short stories in like '81 and '82 in Omni. That's how far it goes back for me.
Count Zero, which was pretty good.
Yeah.
He went through a bad period.
I thought Mona Lisa Overdrive and The Difference Engine. The Difference Engine was great. Him and another cyberpunk writer called Bruce Sterling.
I love Bruce Sterling.
They had the idea, what if Babbage's engines, his thinking engines, came of age in the Victorian era back in England, and the mechanical computing, the whole Babbage concept, and this is whole built around this incredible like Victorian confection.
You know what?
Built around what if computers came up in the 1880s?
Because I did not like that. I couldn't get through this. I did. By the time he was on to Mona Lisa Overdrive, though, I thought he was back in gear.
Yeah, that was the final of the first trilogy.
Yeah.
And then he came up.
This is a great one. This is the last one I've read.
Adoru.
Virtual Light and Uduro. Now tell us a story about Uduro.
Uduro is the idea that you've got these artificial intelligences, you've got these tremendous, there's just sort of idea of a Japanese pop star, and they're sort of manufactured, and there's like 20 of them made a month. And
virtual pop stars.
Virtual
just
pop
like
stars.
Dash and Tilde.
Get the people out of the way, you come up with a bunch of bits, and somebody actually goes, a real rock star decides to marry the Adoru and the artificial intelligence behind it.
Now this is his newest, and I haven't read this yet, I didn't even know it was out. It's called
All Tomorrow's Parties.
All Tomorrow's Parties.
And it's an extension of some of the ideas he's brought. Well, it's all extensions of the ideas he's brought up in the earlier ones. It's really good stuff. He's really pushing the way we think about artificial intelligence and the whole idea of these networks and what they're doing to culture.
For more of our great Geek Library picks, check out the website for a complete listing, thescreensavers.com.
Good stuff.
Gotta love William Gibson.
Yeah.
Good deal. Meanwhile, let's say hello and happy birthday to Bruce on the ZDTV Netcam Network from Pasadena, California. Happy birthday, Bruce.
Hey, Patrick.
Hey, man. How's it going today?
Hey, Leo.
How you doing?
Okay. I just want to be one of the first request a signed autographed picture of you, Leo, and Patrick together.
We don't have any pictures of us together. We got to get some.
Yeah, because I have them back here, Kate and Leo's.
You got the whole collection there.
And I need one of Patrick.
Well, we can't do it. We haven't done one yet.
Well, we got to call the camera dude, but I'm sure they'll work on that one.
Maybe take one of us in the Olds 1970 Olds 442. Wouldn't that be cool?
Can we rent the Olds again?
Let's do it. Just an excuse to rent. What's your question for us, Bruce?
Okay, just a basic question about Linux. It's confusing me. Can you reinstall Linux on top of itself like you do Windows?
Yes.
Yeah.
What it will be, though, it's a little different, but what you'll do when you put your Linux disk in to do the install or reinstall, it'll ask you, is this an install or an upgrade? And if it's an upgrade, what it does is it looks at all the versions. It actually looks at the install log, looks at all the versions of the software you've got installed, and will replace anything that it has a newer version of, plus put software that you don't already have on there. Now, if you use the same disk, If it's not an upgrade, nothing will happen, obviously.
Yeah. So I'm thinking it's still one of those situations where you probably, unless you really have a good reason not to, you know, put your data on a separate partition, wipe it, start up with a new one.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do. When you and this is actually a good idea when you do a Linux install.
Yeah.
Create multiple partitions. You're always going to have a root partition and a swap partition. But I encourage people to do a /usr/local partition. That's for any applications that are installed.
Yes.
And then a /home partition. That's for your private data. And then when you do an install, you can actually just format the root partition.
Right.
And reinstall on top of the root partition, and that maintains any applications you've installed additionally, and and unlike Windows, you know, when you just most of it sits in the user local, so you don't have to worry about it, and it also will keep your local data, so that avoids that whole issue.
And you get a nice clean operating system installed, which
always
is
the best idea.
Huge improvement.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do. And this is the guy who installed 6 Linuxes on top of one another, so he learned from probably bitter experience. Did you just floss your brain there?
Yes, my little mental floss going on there.
Thanks, Bruce. Happy birthday to you. Coming up next, Dan Hanttula gives us a few pointers on how to master your Windows CE device when the Screensavers continues.
Does your e-commerce site have what it takes to be the UPS Merchant of the Week? Put it to the test. Go to ZDTV.com, click on the Merchant of the Week, and enter your e-business. Your .com could win a week of promotion on ZDTV. While you're there, vote for this week's contender and you could win a $100 gift certificate from Buy.com. It's a win-win destination. At ZDTV.com, click on the Merchant of the Week.
We're at the antique show extremely early on a Sunday morning. How much do you think you'll need to retire on? Per year. However much you spend every year, right, you're going to need about 20 times that much to live off the interest.
Oh, really?
Money can easily get lazy, but at E-Trade, you make it work out. Real-time quotes. Retirement Center, Knowledge Center, 24/7, 5,000 mutual funds.
Wow.
Do you know if you're a frequent trader, you can get it down to $4.95 a trade? In fact, E-Trade's the #1 place to invest online. Did you know that E-Trade offers all kinds of valuable information, like S&P analyst recommendations and market news updates to help you make smart investment choices? Ooh. Sign up now and E-Trade will add $75 to your account. Does it sound like something you might be interested in? Definitely. $75 just for signing up. Trey Cool.
The RCA experts have been out looking for ways to improve how you watch TV.
A friend of mine is having a rough time. Jimmy, I'm scoring 2 touchdowns for you today, buddy. Now make that 3. Well, the best of luck to both of you. And now to the kickoff.
This game will not be broadcast in your area. More football later.
Their latest idea? The RCA DirecTV system, which gives you 200 channels with digital quality picture. So if it's on, chances are it'll be on your TV.
Yes, it's time once again for our weekly AlternaTip segment, a neat tip or trick about an alternative operating system or device. Anything that's not Windows 98, basically. This week we have some super tips for Windows CE users. And to help us demonstrate the tip, Penn Computing's Windows CE editor, the man who knows all about CE, Dan Hanttula. Hey, Dan, how you doing?
Good to see you.
You're going to change it to Windows Pocket PC editor, or what?
I think I'm going to stay with Windows CE, although Windows Powered now seems to be the popular phrase of choice for these devices.
They don't say Windows CE or Pocket PC. They say Windows Powered.
Yeah, all the devices and the audio PC and everything else is all Windows Powered now.
All right, thank you, Microsoft, for another sterling innovation in naming. Let's talk about your tip here. This is a Pocket PC device.
This is actually one of the new ones. I've actually got 2 of the new ones. I've got a Giornata 545.
Right.
And the new compact iPack.
Well, what do you think of these? You like them?
I love the hardware, and I love the applications. They did a great job bringing some killer apps like MP3 player, an electronic book reader, an audiobook player. But the operating system still leaves a little bit to be desired.
It's the same. It's a little cluttered. That was always the rap. It's still cluttered, kind of?
Yeah, they basically just clean the windows a little bit, but they're still the same windows that you're looking through.
I like it. I mean, and I think having these 4 buttons and all that stuff does make it a little bit more usable.
Yeah, and actually some of these new devices are just amazing. With
the hardware really is good.
Yeah, the hardware is great.
Yeah. Well, let's take a look at your tip. What are we going to do today?
Okay, well, first off, all our devices, including our desktop computers, are always losing time.
Right.
The time is never accurate on
That's
them.
absolutely right.
And that's like my worst thing, because I'd love to be on time for meetings. And these handheld devices, you really want to be on time because when you're walking around, I check the time on this all the time. And if it's off, if it's late, I'm late.
Well, and if the alarms don't go off at the right time, that's terrible.
Exactly, and that's huge.
So let's fix that. How do we do that?
Well, that's great. The first tip is by fixing it, we have to fix it on the desktop.
Okay.
And I've installed an application called Socket Watch. And what it does is it just talks to the atomic clock servers on the internet and synchronizes the time on your desktop.
There's a lot of programs that do this. You don't have to use this one particularly, do you?
Right. There's a ton of programs, and they're freeware or they're pretty inexpensive shareware.
So the first step, get this puppy, the big guy, on time.
Accurate. You got it. Now the next step is a little bit trickier. You've got to make sure that you have ActiveSync 3.0 or above installed on your desktop.
Okay, and actually that's worth doing. It's so much better than the old ActiveSync.
It's a huge step, yeah.
So if you haven't upgraded, it's a free download from Microsoft's website.
Yeah, it is. And so this is the new interface for it, in which all you've got to do to set it up, once you've got your desktop synchronized to the right time, is click on Options, and make sure you've checked this box right here that says Synchronize Mobile Device Clock Upon Connecting.
All right, so as long as this is checked, when I synchronize, it's going to set the time on the Pocket PC device?
And every time after that you sync, it'll set it too.
Oh, everybody should be doing that.
Everybody really should.
But you need to upgrade to 3.0 to ActiveSync 3.0 to have that happen.
Yeah, and actually now with the Pocket PC, they've got 3.1 out, which fixes a few more bugs too.
Now, I noticed 3.0 seems to be a lot faster than the old version. Is that true?
That's actually true, and actually the next tip is going to speed you up even more.
Oh, good. I can do that.
Everybody likes to speed up their sync quicker.
Okay.
There's actually 3 ways to do it. The new device that they've got, like the Jornada, has USB synchronization.
Okay, and that means now we're connecting it to the USB port instead of the serial port.
Right, you're no longer using that old slow serial port.
This is 10 times faster than the serial port nominally. Do you actually see that much speed improvement?
Actually, for Windows CE, Microsoft says you get about 6 times faster.
Well, that's great.
That's a huge increase, and it really makes syncing. You can sync and go really quickly.
But I notice they still offer this. Is this a serial connector? What is that?
That's actually a power connection, so that you can charge the device while you're syncing.
Oh, I got it. Great. All right, so look for the USB.
On your new devices, but if you have an old device, Socket Communications offers this, and this is a compact flash or CF card / USB port. So you connect this to your old Windows CE device,
right,
and then you plug that into your computer that has a USB port on it.
Are all the new CE devices using compact flash? Is that
all the old ones are?
All the old ones.
Some of the new ones, like the iPack here, you have to actually buy a sleeve, an additional sleeve.
Right.
And then some of the newer ones, like one coming up from Casio, won't even use compact flash.
Oh, okay. So if this is only if you, but they'll probably all have USB.
Yeah, they'll all have USB.
So if you have an older one, you can make it a USB. That's neat. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
How much does this cost?
It retails for around $100, and it should be available. I think they're putting it up on their website tonight.
You said you had 3 tips. What's the third?
The third tip is great. If you want to hold that for me.
All right.
On the actual device.
This is the iPack, and we've shown this before. I kind of like how this, feels good.
Yeah, I love this device.
Yeah.
But on the actual device, and this works for old Windows CE devices as well as the new Pocket PC, if you go to your control panel, which is in Settings off the Start menu, and you actually, on the new Pocket PC, you have a connection setting.
Yeah.
You just go to PC.
Yeah.
And the default is set to 19200, which is pretty slow for synchronization.
That's how fast I've been going, though. I didn't think I could go any faster.
You can actually increase it all the way up to 115,000 kbps.
So if you're stuck with serial, at least set it to 115,000.
And you'll get a really big speed increase.
Yeah, and if not, if you can, go to USB.
Yeah, if you can go to USB with either of these methods, you'll just... Even the CF card increases the synchronization speed by 2 times.
Yeah, well, that's great.
It's a great job.
That's great. Great tips, Dan, as usual, and I appreciate it. And we can look for... Tell me about the magazine. Where can we find it? Everywhere?
Oh, it's available everywhere.
And online?
We do have a website at pencomputing.com.
Great.
And we're available at Tower and Barnes & Noble and all that.
And you don't just cover CE devices. You cover all kinds of
We cover the Palm Pilot as well, and Scion, even Magic Cap, an old device.
I've been using a Scion Series 7, and I just love it. So I'll have to pick up the magazine and take a look at what you guys say about it. That's great. Thank you, Dan.
All right, thank you.
Great tips for a detailed description about this AlternaTip. And yes, just for you, because you're watching today, a bonus AlternaTip. Visit our website at thescreensavers.com. That's Windows CE editor from Pen Computing Magazine, Dan Hanttula, and I thank you for coming by.
Thank you.
All right, now you folks, stay here. I thank you for coming by too, but don't go away. We've got more where that came from. We're going to answer more of your home computer questions. Also, what is a port? It's more than a place where ships come in and sailors come off. It's a lot more. Martin Sargent has the scoop. Plus, Sumi Das has more electronic gadgets on today's Fresh Gear. All that and more as the Screensavers rolls on.
You're watching ZDTV. Don't change that channel. looking for a digital camera that stores images on a memory stick. Hey, do you know where I can find one of those digital... Excuse me. What did he say? Never mind. Which digital camcorder lets me shoot on standard 8mm tape?
This your car?
What's the easiest way to email my photos?
No email, hot dog.
No, digital camera.
What do I look like, a camera salesman?
Got questions about digital imaging? Ask somebody who knows. Sony. Call and get your free Sony digital imaging guide. It'll tell you all you need to know about digital imaging. You'll even get a personalized recommendation on which products are best for you.
Which digital camcorder shoots at night?
Find out how Sony's digital cameras and camcorders let you capture, edit, and share your life like never before.
Megapixels. Yeah, megapixels.
So call now for your customized guide and get a password to Sony's members-only website.
Thought I told you to move along.
Call 1-877-741-SONY for your free guide.
Sessler here, and I'd like to extend a big GameSpot TV welcome to my new co-host, Kate Botello, formerly of the Screensavers.
Thank you, Adam. And you know, folks, the only thing that can tear me away from Linux is gaming. I'm really stoked to join the GameSpot TV clan to help you gamers kick butt from hardware to software.
Now, in this multiplayer game, we are a team. So join us for the latest reviews and previews.
And a whole new point of view each week on GameSpot TV.
Kate Botello comes to GameSpot TV starting Saturday, April 29th.
More answers to your computer questions in the Screensavers continues.
I love working here. It's exciting, feeling like we're changing things for the better. At Zurich Direct, there are no surprises. You call us and we give you a free quote on high-quality term life insurance with no strings attached. And these rates are up to 70% less than what some other insurers charge. I mean, why pay more than you have to?
Hi, thank you for calling Zurich Direct. This is Wendy. How may I help you?
It really is simple.
Well, Mr. Madden, you're 42 in good health and you don't smoke? That's great. A 10-year, $250,000 policy is just $23 a month, and your rate is guaranteed.
Everybody has questions when they call in. They want to know they're doing business with the right company. You'd be amazed how many letters we get from people just saying thanks.
Well, you can choose a 5, 10, 15, or 20.
Coverage can start in just a
Sure,
few
I
weeks.
can help you with that. I'll just...
Absolutely. I think everyone should call Zurich Direct. But then again, I'm probably a little partial.
Call 1-888-557-TURN. Zurich Direct, a unit of Zurich Kemper Life.
Just imagine being linked to a source of information, to a global internet adventure. Now, there's a new television network, ZDTV, your home for entertainment, explaining the power of computers and the internet. ZDTV, amaze yourself.
Welcome back to the Screensavers. I am Leo Laporte.
And I am Patrick Norton.
Man, I just hope, folks, you set the VCR and you've been taping this show, because this is a keeper. This is a classic.
You're going to want to take it at least from your TiVo to your VCR, rack it up, put it on the wall.
Put it on the wall. That's exactly where it belongs.
Tell all your friends.
Today, our chat topic of the day is PowerPoint a threat to national security? The Pentagon says it's a productivity killer. And Patrick, you seem to agree.
Oh, it's the biggest waste of time on the planet. Somebody spends 9 hours putting together some automated, actuated volume. It's too many sounds. It's a waste of time. It's usually somebody, and then they can't talk about it without
Patrick,
going from slide
I beg to differ. And to make my point, I've actually created a PowerPoint presentation that I think you should watch, and I'd like everyone at home to watch along with me. I call it Government PowerPoint Presentation. Waste not, want not. Copyright 1999 to 2000, Leo Laporte Limited. And dang, what you keep getting in there? Okay, shattering the myth of wasteful PowerPoint use. Wait a minute, I already did that slide. Wait a minute, how do I get through this?
Folks,
hold on a second. I've already done this here.
Leo is wasting our time.
Wait a minute.
Wait a
minute. Hold on, I'll get there. Honest. All right, you see the problem.
This is worse than Spicoli and his pizza.
Marines deny using PowerPoint. Navy use PowerPoint, but only at sea. Army use PowerPoint only to make points. Oh. Pentagon never heard of PowerPoint.
I do not recall PowerPoint, Mr. Laporte.
And then, of course, my favorite slide, Madonna. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You can turn the lights up now, and anybody who's fallen asleep, please wake up. The presentation's over. So get to the... I actually agree with you.
Yeah.
And I've used PowerPoint and used it appropriately. I think it's okay. But it's so easy to get sucked into this thing and spend
You get these like 49 pages. When our company was founded in 1927, before there were any computers, and then they give you these like 19. It's vicious. It's wrong. It's just let go of PowerPoint.
Of course, we use it here at ZDTV for all our sales presentations, and we're not in any way implying that ZDTV sales presentations are anything but the finest money can buy. Get to the website and vote, thescreensavers.com.
Oh, Michael joins us on the ZDTV Netcam Network from Queen Creek, Arizona.
Hey, Michael.
Michael?
Hello.
How's it going, man?
Not too bad.
How's it going to do?
You use PowerPoint for your school papers?
No.
Excellent. Good man. Do you handwrite them on pieces of charcoal?
No.
No, okay.
Microsoft Word.
Lincoln. That was Lincoln, that's right. Okay, what can we do for you?
Yeah, I was wondering how to get the suspend option on Windows 98, because on my computer it doesn't have it, and I'd like to have it on my computer.
So that when you go to the shutdown, you have that suspend thing on the screen, and it goes to sleep and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Doesn't do it on ours. You know why?
Why?
It's not built into the motherboard. It has to be a function of the hardware, doesn't it, Patrick?
Yeah, I mean, you can sort of turn it on sometimes in the... if you go into the system control panel, into the power management, sometimes it'll let you turn that on. The truth is if the computer's not designed to work with the suspend mode, it usually doesn't work very well at all. It can be a really sort of gnarly thing. A lot of notebooks don't work very well for it, and they were actually designed to be used with the suspend
I hate
mode.
suspend. I find it crashes more often than
Why?
not.
Did you want it so your computer would be up all the time, and you just hit a button and it comes back up for you?
Well,
Michael?
I have a keyboard that has the
Oh, it has a button on
wake
it.
up, sleep, and power off buttons. And
Now, did that keyboard come with your computer?
No.
Okay. If it had come with your computer, I'd say, oh, good, you've got the hardware to support it, and then all you'd have to do is go into the BIOS setup and turn it on. But if it doesn't come, see, here's the thing, Michael. You got features on the keyboard that are designed for somebody else's computer. So just because it says on the computer, sleep, suspend, why are they taking a picture of the keyboard? I don't know. But
because
anyway,
we love
because I did this.
They held it up,
They said,
Leo.
okay, he must want us to take a look. Take a look at my keyboard. Do you notice any buttons that say sleep, suspend, go to sleep, go away, go to the web? No, and that's because the hardware doesn't support it. This came with the computer. Right. Same thing. If the keyboard that comes with your computer says it, you should be able to turn it on, but in most cases.
There are some motherboards that have it built in for desktops, but for the most part, if it doesn't come with the factory with the suspend mode set up, you probably don't want to try to set it up, Michael.
And like Patrick said, it's not that great a thing anyway. It crashes the computer half the time anyway. Yeah. Okay?
All right.
Sorry, guy.
Sorry, buddy.
He borrowed somebody else's keyboard and he wanted all his functions to work on it.
Well, my computer's sort of a putting together of a lot of just different parts.
What motherboard did you use?
I used a 686 motherboard.
Yeah, it probably doesn't do it.
Yeah.
You'd have to be a newer motherboard.
The truth is, Michael, I've used computers with it. You wouldn't miss it.
I have it on mine. I haven't used it once because I did it once and it crashed. I hate it. Anyway, thank you for the call. Take care, guy, okay?
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Michael.
He's going to get a magnet.
Oh, Michael.
Wait a minute.
Can you take us to break, please?
Thanks, Patrick and Leo. Semi-DOS plays with interactive toys when the screensavers continue.
All right. Thank you, Michael.
Thanks, Michael.
Goodbye and God bless. Here's your magnet.
People all around the world are watching ZDTV.
ZDTV! Amaze yourself and get it on!
ZDTV's Cam Film Festival needs you. Cast your vote and you can win. Go to ZDTV.com/CamFest, then watch and choose your favorite entry. You could win a Logitech QuickCam Express. Each day there's a new category and another chance to vote and win. Your vote counts during ZDTV's Cam Film Festival. Your chance to vote and win starts Monday at ZDTV.com/CamFest. Sponsored by Logitech.
I am Nakia. I am Linux.
I am Matt. I am Linux. I am Linux.
I am Linux.
I am Linux. I'm Patrick. I am Linux.
I am Carrie. I am Linux.
I am Andy, and I am Linux.
Macmillan USA, the place for Linux.
I am Amber. I am Linux.
We're back on the network talking with Joe and the folks at Dunbar Junior High. How you guys doing?
Doing great.
Now, how has technology changed your teaching style?
Just this week, I found a website, and it has about 20 PowerPoint presentations that I can pull straight off the internet. When you have PowerPoint presentations that you can pull straight off the web, the hours that you save are just incredible.
It seems like you guys have a pretty wired school there, too.
We have several technology grants that are putting computers in the classroom, and we have an after-school program called 21st Century Community Learning Centers. And students stay after school. They will get on the internet and learn technology. What I've found out in technology, you can't learn it in 6 months. You just have to kind of learn as you go.
And eventually it becomes a lifestyle.
That's the way it's become for me. If I don't get some kind of computer fix every day, I feel like I've cheated myself.
All I need is this keyboard and this monitor.
And that modem.
Yeah, you're with me, Joe.
I can relate to that.
Want to talk? Find out how at ZDTV.com/Tilde.
TheScreenSavers.com is the best place for more information about what's on this show. Do you know what the World Wide Web is made of? It's not spider silk. Take this week's quiz about internet backbones and find out. It's all at TheScreenSavers.com. And congratulations to Bob Dalton from Kissimmee, Florida, the winner of yesterday's Super Geek quiz, t-shirt, or cap giveaway. Be sure to fill out the form after you've taken the quiz for your chance to win. And as promised, here's Sumi Das with a glimpse of the new iPack on today's Fresh Gear.
Toys have come a long way from the building blocks and Play-Doh of yesterday. These days, interactivity is the way to go. Interactive toys in the form of Yoda, E.T., Pokemon, and Furby's companion Shelby will all be hitting the stores in time for the holidays. These Tiger Electronics toys work in basically the same way. Vocabularies range from 80 words to an impressive 450 words for Yoda. A series of sensors detects a child's interaction with a toy by voice or a simple touch and responds with moving eyes, mouths, and verbal feedback. Hasbro has also stepped into the interactive arena. Especially My Barney may look like a plain old plush toy, but he's wired for the net. Using the built-in data port, Especially My Barney can communicate with the mybarney.com website. This allows parents to personalize their child's interaction with Barney by downloading selected songs and games for Barney to play. With My Real Baby, Hasbro takes the interactive touch a step further. My Real Baby has an artificial brain and sensors all over her body that detect light, motion, and touch. The motors in her face allow her to express emotion with lifelike responses that include a full range of expressions and sounds. Hasbro even consulted child psychologists to learn more about children's reactions to certain situations and then implemented these into the doll's behavior.
Now, when you first get her, she'll be about 6 weeks old. So, she'll do like she's doing now. She'll do the little baby noises. But then she'll get older, and she'll grow to about 2 years old. That's the maximum age. And at that age, she'll actually know real phrases. She'll be available, like I said, later this fall for $90 to $100.
If you'd like to go beyond the world of dolls, there are several Sony Aibo clones from Tiger Electronics. Imitators from Spike to Poochie are out trying to catch some puppy lovers' eyes. Technology may be transforming children's toys, but children's imaginations will never change.
You can catch a new Fresh Gear every weekend afternoon at 12:30 Eastern, right here on ZDTV. And mark your calendars, because Sumi Das and Leo are going to be in the Bahamas, Nassau to be exact, on Friday, April 28th, and in Boca Raton, Florida on Saturday the 29th. And that's, go to the ZDTV website under Games and Events, click on ZDTV in your town for details and a schedule of our appearances. Now, here's an email from Nick. He asks, I just wanted to know what the whole concept is behind ports and networking. My friends and I run a server, and we are just starting to get in the complicated aspects of it. I understand most of the subject matter, just not this. Comprehending the network and the ports that pull it together when the Screensavers continues.
Entries are in for ZDTV's second annual Cam Film Festival. Now you're invited to watch as we present the nominees. Fiction, humor, special effects, documentary, ZDTV promotion.
Amaze yourself.
ZDTV's Cam Film Festival nomination special. Coming up next. Sponsored by Logitech.
How can you bring the world closer to you? Call Earthlink Sprint, America's leading internet service. You'll get direct, high-speed internet access. More local access numbers across the U.S. and Canada than any other ISP. All the help you need when you need it. Oh, yeah.
Now I can put my work out there for everyone to see.
Join now and you'll get a free digital video camera. You'll be able to email videos and pictures with sound to family and friends right over the net. Earthlink doesn't make you wait or hold you back.
All my favorite stuff shows up automatically.
Earthlink was chosen as America's best ISP by PC Magazine. So why not sign up now and get your free digital video camera? Join more than 1 million people who have already made the move to Earthlink Sprint. We'll even give all your friends your new email address. Just call and bring the world home. After all, it is your internet. Oh, yeah.
I got an email from Nick. He wanted to know about what the whole thing behind ports and networking and all that stuff. And of course, if we're talking ports, we're talking Martin Sargent, the king of ports, who's got to do with the whole explanation of the whole theory and everything. He's been spending, I think, probably all week studying up. So you can disgorge.
At least the past 45 minutes or so. Thank you.
Did you bring a PowerPoint presentation by any chance?
Yeah, I did. Let me call it up.
If Madonna's in it, I'm into it.
And what do you know, when you hear the word ports relative to computers, what do you usually think
about? Like the back of the computer where you have a
Exactly.
serial port,
There's a bunch of holes back there that you stick computer cables in there. Serial ports, USB ports, SCSI ports. That's not what I'm talking about.
Not even related.
There's another type of port that's a lot harder to understand, but it's no less important. And this is the kind of ports that really make it possible for computers attached to the same network to talk to each other in a client-server relationship.
Are these software only, or are they just kind of imaginary? There's no physical.
They're not physical. They're sort of software only. I don't want to say imaginary, but
metaphor things.
Yeah. Let me first say what a client-server relationship is. I think that's important.
All right.
Client-server relationship. You got a client computer, you got a server computer. And I don't care if these are the only two computers in the network, or if these are just two of the millions of computers attached to that mother of all networks that we call the internet.
Right.
The client computer has got an application on it, let's say a web browser, and it's going to ask the server computer for some stuff, let's say a web page, and if everything goes well, the client computer is going to get that web page, okay?
Right. And that's a temporary role. The roles could reverse or whatever.
Exactly.
But that's the relationship these two computers have right now.
And this is all taking place over a protocol called TCP/IP.
Right.
TCP is the top layer. That governs streams of information between the two. And IP is the bottom layer. That governs the flow of packets between the two, or datagrams, some folks call it. Now, where do ports come in?
Right.
Where do ports come in? Well, let's think of that server computer as a Chinese restaurant. If we can. And let's think of that client computer as my apartment building, where I'm an application, I'm a web browser, and I'm hungrily wanting some mushu pork.
Okay.
Right. So what do I got to do to get that mushu pork? Well, I got to call the Chinese restaurant, and I got to tell them what data I want, the mushu pork, and I've got to tell them what my apartment or what my street number is in my apartment building. But not only that, I have to tell them what my apartment number is, so that somebody else in my apartment building, because there's like 20 apartments in there, doesn't get. I don't want McNubbins down in the basement getting my mushu pork.
So how does that relate to ports now?
How does that relate to ports? Well, like the street address of my building is like the IP address of that client computer.
Okay, that's 192.0.7.1.
Yeah, that's the unique number that distinguishes my computer from all others on the internet.
But that's not it. Right, because McNubbins lives in the same place.
Exactly.
Okay.
So there's all these different ports in there. Well, yes, exactly. So the port number differentiates the different applications within the computer. It tells once it gets to the computer, then where does it go, okay? And that Chinese restaurant has to know the exact port number for me to get my food.
Similarly, you would connect to them across a port number. Let's say they're in a mall with a lot of different restaurants. You have to go to the correct port number of that address.
That's right.
As well.
In order for any of this to work, we've got to be on that same port number.
Right.
And there's tens of thousands of different port numbers, over 65,000 in fact. The important certain ones are lower. There's restricted port numbers which have a function standardized. Those are between 0 and 1023.
So 80 is,
80
for
is
instance,
HTTP.
Right.
21 is FTP.
Right.
Napster, the thing that the kids are all using to steal free music, is 6699.
How old are you, Martin?
Oh, I don't use
kids.
it. I find it morally offensive.
6699 is Napster's number.
6699 is Napster.
Okay.
And
Gnutella is 5,000.
Yeah.
For
And
instance.
these are all readily available. You can get these port numbers, and you can actually change these port numbers too. For example, if you're worried about hackers sniffing ports.
Right. Now, not to get more complicated, but sometimes a transaction can use several port numbers. For instance, the FTP transaction establishes itself over 20 and 21, but then will create a random port number for the continuing transaction. So it's like as if you said, okay, I'm calling you from apartment 3B, but I want you to deliver it to apartment 4C. That makes sense, though, the way you describe that.
That's the only way I can understand.
It's an address. It's basically an address within a computer.
It's an address within an address.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
I like it.
Now, what about sockets?
Sockets, I always think of them as just endpoints in the two-way communication. Okay, I think of the sockets sort of sitting. They attach to the ports, and they're sort of listening for that communication to come through. And then when it comes through, the sockets actually do something with it and sort of link up the application to the port.
Well, all this talk about Chinese restaurants and ports and delivery is maybe I'm in the mood for the Mugu Guy pin. So, Martin, we're going to get you out of here.
All right.
Take another call, and maybe we can get to dinner a little bit.
Oh, I think I've got a coupon here.
You didn't tell us you actually ordered.
Give me the food.
Would you guys get out of here while we talk to... He ordered food. Share that with us. Hey, go. Hey, Jamie's on the line from Guntersville, Alabama. Hi, Jamie.
Hey, Leo. Hey, Patrick.
How's it going, Jamie?
It's a really stale pot sticker, I think. What's going on?
Well, I got a new computer a while ago, and I was just going to hook it up with a network to my old one to transfer all my stuff over.
Makes sense.
But the old computer died.
Oh.
And I want to put the hard drive in the new one. I tried it, but Windows doesn't want to recognize it.
It doesn't want to recognize it at all?
And I do see it in the device manager sometimes.
Could you repeat that last part?
And I can hardly hear you.
Okay.
Well, you know, it says right here, don't answer Jamie's question because... No, it doesn't. The joyfulness of man prolongeth his days. And it's got my lotto numbers on the back here. I'm saving those.
That's a beautiful thing.
You better answer this one because I was busy reading my fortune.
Jamie, you said you pulled the old hard drive straight out of the old computer?
Right.
So it was originally the primary hard drive on that computer.
But I did change the jumper. I'm pretty sure I got it right.
Master-slave jumper.
It says on, it says like master on, slave off.
Okay.
That means that's going to be the boot drive.
So sometimes one of the issues is sometimes what will happen is Windows will see a second primary partition, because this was originally off that other computer. It would have been not so much the master or the slave, but actually once you get on the operating system level, it's going to look for what a primary partition.
And then the active or boot partition within among those primary partitions.
Right.
Yeah. So it
Both
might
of
be.
them are in C. I have a C and a D. And when I was fiddling with it at first, trying to get the jumper right, it actually booted Windows 95 a time or two.
So it did work at one point.
Yeah, the drive does work. I just need to get the stuff off of it.
What I would probably do, if you have I would probably actually boot it with that old hard drive. The problem is what's happened is it's not going to want to actually see it. You may actually have to go in because it sees like the first C partition, that first primary partition on the new drive in your new computer. So it's going to completely ignore that second primary partition, which is probably why your old C drive isn't showing up.
Right.
If you can actually boot it, you said there's a C and a D drive on that second hard drive?
Yeah, on both of them.
Do you actually, when you boot up with the new hard drive, do you see the old D drive on the old hard drive?
No. Well, but it's in the device manager. There are two entries for the hard drive, two hard drive entries, but only the two from my computer.
What are the size? Just out of curiosity, what are the size of the hard drives? I wonder if that has anything to do with it.
One of them is a 9 gig or like a 10 gig, and one of them's 3 gig.
The old one's a 3 gig, yeah?
Right.
That's the one you can't see.
Right.
So, I mean, if you can see a 9 gig, you can definitely see a 3 gig.
How much space do you have on the old hard drive?
Oh, I don't know, under a gig.
Where are you going here with that one?
Probably somewhere about 500 megs.
How much data are you trying to move off the old hard drive?
Maybe put it back in the old system and then cable them together?
Because one of the things, do you have any kind of removable media device like a Jazz drive or a zip drive?
You have the old computer though, right?
Yeah, but the motherboard died.
Oh, so it's dead. It's not. You can't get to the hard drive through the old PC.
No. And I took it apart.
So really, what you've got to do is get this hard drive working somehow.
Right.
And it's seeing it. When you do, you know the IDE check when you boot up. Do you see it when you do the IDE check?
Yeah. Well, when it'll show me the compact screen, and then it'll say found disk 1, disk da-da-da.
And so it does find them both.
Yeah.
You know, you got us. I don't know of any.
Have you run FDisk? So have you ever run FDisk to format a drive? Do not format the old drive, but
just to examine it in this case.
Does it actually see the partitions on the old hard drive?
I don't know. I never tried that.
One of the things you might be able to do is something like Partition Commander might actually be able to change the partitions on the old drive into something the new drive would be compatible with. This is a really tough one.
That makes me nervous, yeah. Try it in DOS. See if you can see it in DOS. Maybe that's it. We're out of time. That's the best we can do for you. Thanks for the call, though, okay? Take care. And, folks, if you don't have an answer, email us. Okay, maybe we can figure this out. Next, how do we love emails? Let us count the ways. We've got answers to your questions and much more when the Screensavers continues.
Stay tuned for more of the Screensavers with Patrick Norton and Leo Laporte.
This program is sponsored in part by ZDNet, where technology takes you. All around the world are watching ZDTV.
This is Bob Vila from Bob Vila's Home Again. You're watching ZDTV. Amaze yourself.
What's new at ZDTV.com? It's our all-new Superguides, 10 essential guides to everything on the web that's useful, practical, even musical. Like the Super Guide to Linux, giving you the coolest tips and tricks for this maverick operating system. Or the Super Guide to Digital Photography, with the best buys and how-tos for developing your photos online. Then the MP3 Super Guide rocks the net with the latest downloads and greatest gadgets for digital audio. Check out all our Super Guides at ZDTV.com now.
We're here at Harvard talking about ZDTV. How do you feel when you hold that cube?
Empowered.
What would you think about a television network that would be able to help you use your computer?
Oh, I think that's a great idea.
Do you?
In an interactive sense, I think that's a great idea.
You had a computer here and a television here and you could smash them together.
I like TV and I like computers, and the synergy would just be incredible.
We've showed you how to make, manage, and save money. Now we'll tell you how to be a star.
Go to ZDTV.com right now and discover how you can be on our newest show, You Made It.
Welcome back to the Screensavers. Here are the preliminary results of today's web poll. Is PowerPoint a threat to national security? 39% of you say yes, and a resounding 61% say no. You still have 24 hours to vote, and that's not all. We've got lots of ways for you to let your voice be heard, and they're all at thescreensavers.com. Now's the time we share some of the hundreds of emails we receive every day on the Screensavers.
Cade sends us a question, says, I'd like to know how I can hook up my DVD player on my computer to my TV. We get this one a lot, and Dade, you can if you have a if you have a hardware decoder, because that'll have TV out of it. Otherwise, you'd have to go to the expense of getting a converter that would convert the VGA output of your video card to the TV NTSC of your, and that's more expensive than just getting a hardware decoder card. Spend 80 or 90 bucks, get the Real Magic Hollywood Plus hardware decoder from Sigma Designs. It has TV out.
Josh wants to know, he heard Microsoft is building another operating system known as Whistler. That's going to be the follow-up after Windows Millennium. Windows Millennium is going to come out sometime between June of this year and June of next year. The one after that is going to be the Windows 2000, the NT kernel inside of a consumer operating system. That's Whistler, at least a year or two out.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for the question. Oh. That's it for this edition of the Screensavers. My ride's here. I got to get out of here. I'm going to the Bahamas. I'll see you there then. Patrick, it's all yours. Bye-bye, guys.
Oh, thank you again for another edition of the Screensavers.
ZDTV News at the top of the hour is sponsored by Dell, providing the infrastructure to power your e-business. Dell knows how E works.
Suddenly, it seems everyone's offering you e-business solutions. But ask them a simple question, like, have they scaled their own infrastructure to handle $40 million a day in e-commerce alone? And see how they react. Dell knows how E works. Visit Dell.com.
Dell business servers use Intel Pentium 3 Xeon processors.
And now the latest from the ZDTV newsroom.
Hello, I'm Victoria Racano for ZDTV News. Online retail giant Amazon.com squeaked past analyst estimates in its first quarter. The company posted a loss of $122 million, or 35 cents a share, a penny above predictions. The $574 million in sales is a 95% improvement from the year-ago quarter. And the world's largest microchip maker has its eyes on India. Intel says it's planning to accelerate its venture capital funding in more Indian firms in 2000. The company says it's looking at new ventures that are able to grow the internet economy, including internet infrastructure, content, and services. High on the agenda is the local television cable sector. Over the last 15 months, Intel's investment arm, Intel Capital, has invested in over a dozen Indian companies. Stay tuned for more updates.